Jackley and Dave Daly right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley. We've been discussing culture over the last couple of weeks and how I
Yes,
am clearly more cultured than you are.
of course, as your
Um,
Waffle House T-shirt indicates.
don't you love my Waffle House t-shirt?
Doesn't get much more highbrow than the Waffle House.
Um, I got to tell you what, and I mean this with all kidding aside, for
Mhm.
$3.99 a month, BBC Select is one of the best things that you can add to your television programming. And I'll tell you why.
Go ahead, sell
Um,
me.
I'm going to sell you on it. And here's what's going to happen. Do you remember Absolutely Fabulous?
Wasn't that? It was a chick show. I know
Yeah,
that.
on Comedy Central. It came over here. It
I
ran
wasn't
for.
into it. I was aware of it. I don't
I
think I
was
ever
aware of
saw
it.
a
I
single
too
episode.
was not into it. I thought it was really annoying and over the top. But I
Hmm.
did kind of get a kick out of Joanna Lumley, who played the really super annoying drunk blonde haired lady. Sweetie darling, sweetie
Okay.
darling, sweetie darling, sweetie darling.
Okay.
Yeah, that was her. Well, that's all I knew about Joanna Lumley was that
Hmm.
little Comedy Central exposure. Come to find out, this chick is basically the and who do I want to call? She's been around in British culture since the '60s.
Okay.
She started off as a model. She went into being an actress, and now she's a presenter. She
Hmm.
goes around and hosts TV shows and does travel things and stuff like that. Um, amazing, amazing television host. And she goes around to parts of the world and these travel adventures and shows these things off. First and foremost, it's like having her sit in her in your living room and tell you about the cultures and the people of these countries. Second of
Hmm.
all, she goes to countries that anytime we see them in the United States, all you see is the deplorable, awful, miserable lives that people live.
Hmm.
And all of that is taken away in their telling of these other countries and the history and the way things went. And even if it's to blame the British for their colonizations and things like that over the years, it's fascinating. I mean, when you see a show about India, do you ever see anything other than the crowded streets of and
Well,
stories will pop up of individuals that do remarkable
hmm.
things and all that
Hmm.
other kind of stuff, but you never get out and see the countryside. You never get out and see the natural resources. You never get out and see.
Oh, there's a reason that people who immigrate to the United States from India, I mean, these are high level individuals
Right.
from an intellectual standpoint and from a culture. I mean, they come here
Right.
and they dominate.
Oh,
There's a
they're
reason
hugely
for that.
intelligent. They're
Hmm.
so anyway. This isn't about the people or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is just about the worldview that you get of
Hmm.
other cultures and societies that we don't necessarily mesh with, but other parts of the
Right.
world don't necessarily have a problem with, and it's spectacular. It is such a relief. To, like last night, they went to it was a part that they clipped out. She did a whole series on the spice trade where
Okay.
back in the 1600s where spices came from. Black pepper was worth more than gold at one point. Black pepper was worth more than gold. So,
Try to trade that now.
uh, right?
Here's your
So imagine you're the people who
would
grew
have been
black
style.
pepper, and one day you're sitting there waiting for the next group of trade people to come along,
Hmm.
and they decide to shell your goddamn town from the um from the water in their
Hmm.
ships. Oh, I guess the trade route's over. That
Yeah.
surprise. Hey, we're from the Dutch West India Company. Guess what?
Hmm.
We're gonna burn your village down and steal your black
Hmm.
pepper. That kind of stuff, right?
That's
But anyway,
that's what happens.
they went to Iran for one of these
Hmm.
shots. The artwork alone in Iran that's been preserved. Holy cow. Beautiful,
Oh yeah.
stunning, staggering. I mean, the stuff that the earliest civilizations have built. And you know what? I'm not a fan of Iran's politics. I'm not a fan of
Right.
our relationship with Iran or anything like that. But do you
Well,
think the average guy in Iran is sitting there day after day going, God damn, I hate Americans?
probably not.
Right.
I think you
It,
get you
what I'm
get
getting at
spoon fed
here,
things. Yeah.
what I'm getting at here is just the breath of fresh air to see the world through a different scope
Hmm.
when it's not our media producers looking at things.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
there's something to that. Yeah.
for $3.99 a month. Get BBC Select and just take another view.
I will consider it. I don't see myself. Again, I've got too many things on Netflix and Amazon Prime that I've yet to
Right.
get through. I won't get through all of them. There's a lot of interesting things. I'm big on, and honestly, I'm not even viewing Amazon or Netflix as much as I'm just listening to long form podcasts.
Yeah.
I enjoy it because it's something you can do while you're driving. Uh, you don't have to be fully engaged all the time, but it's always I'm big on something either be entertaining or interesting or thought provoking, or give me a different way of looking at things maybe than I was
That's what
before I
this is.
turned this on.
This is a different way
Yeah,
of looking at things.
yeah, but again, I can't watch that in the car
She
driving.
went.
I,
She
I
went.
understand. Look,
Yeah.
there's
She went to some
that's a
country, and I can't really. But it was something that was in the Russian bloc for years and years and
mhm.
years. It's turned into this remarkably wealthy, dynamic tourist place, and they've actually got hotels that they've where cavemen lived. They are literally what were dug out for caves for people to live in at one point that are now luxury hotels. I looked over at Cindy and I said, I want to go there. I want to live on the side
I
of a cliff for a week just to see.
I had a buddy of mine that went there on business because he's got a lot of the people who work under him. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I've touched on this before. He lives in mid Michigan, but he works for a company uh, in Milwaukee that has got a lot of employees in India, and he had to go to India, and he was
Yeah.
treated like a king there. He's like going there. He's like, I didn't want to leave. I like he wasn't looking forward to the trip. He goes
Right.
there. He's like, it was really cool. It's hard to get used to the food, but everybody there was very nice, very cool,
Yeah.
and yeah, there it's one of those things you do before going somewhere, before really investigating a place. Eh, and I do think though that people can divest can separate the politics of a country from the people in that country
Right. You
in a
hope.
lot of ways because
You hope.
I think we're able to do that better now than ever before. I mean, obviously, everybody's going to have. We all have biases and prejudices. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what culture you're from. We all have that. This is an across the world thing. We all have these kind of preconceived notions, and it's nice to get some of that dispelled. Some of it is true. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's a reason certain things become stereotypes is because there's an element of truth to them. Um, but yeah, that's a good. I like that. I like that. I like showcasing areas of the world where you may think one thing and maybe come away with a different
Yeah.
impression
So there
afterwards.
you go. That's my advice for the
Oh,
weekend.
very interesting.
$3.99 for BBC Select.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, let's get into it. A software update was the apparent cause of a network outage that impacted AT&T customers across the U.S. on Thursday. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI were investigating the
Oh
incident
boy.
over concerns of a potential cyber attack. The company claims that the application and execution of an incorrect process used during the update caused the disruption. AT&T provides a service to over 100 million across the U.S. I mean, everybody, and they still don't know exactly. I mean, that may have been the cause, may not. We don't. Nothing's fully known, and everybody's going to have their own. It may just be that. It may be exactly what they're saying. I don't know what's worse for a company though. Is if it's something that seemingly basic. It's like a mechanic effing up an oil change.
Yeah. Well, it
If you're a
happens.
licensed mechanic, those things do on rare, like that happened to me. A guy, put the oil in, didn't take the old oil out,
Yep.
and completely effed my engine. So, this feel now is that worse, or a foreign entity, or maybe a domestic entity coming in and hacking into your system? What is a worse look for you as a company? Because nobody really trusts a corporate response to anything, because corporations are going to lie to protect their bottom line. Now they may be telling the truth here,
Yeah.
but this
I
goes
I
back
think in
to
this case,
Go
I
ahead.
think in this case, you got to go with the idea that they're probably telling you the truth.
They might, yeah.
Crap just
I'm
happens,
50.
you know.
Yeah, but then your brain goes to the other. It's
Of
like
course it does.
the reason you wouldn't say that it was this other thing
We've
because you don't
we've
want to.
we've been taught to do that over the last 10 years,
I don't
and
think we've been.
I mean, there have always been those who question, and that's great,
Mhm.
right?
You have to. You have to
But
question everything
that
always.
interjection of questioning everything has been
Mhm.
amplified sometimes to an
Fair enough.
extreme for the last 10
Fair enough.
years, and it's not been very healthy for all of us because
I
people
think.
who are genuinely honest and will tell you the truth about anything, they're being questioned, and it's not always fair, you know.
Okay. All right. People who are there. Here's the problem: mouthpieces for any organization, any company, even if it's a company you like, even if it's a leader you like and respect. I don't put lying past anybody.
No,
Don't put it
but
past
when
anybody.
it
So
boils down to
I do
people,
agree. I agree with basically what you're saying. I think it can be carried to an extreme, but there's a reason. This is why I try to impress upon my son. It's more important to be honest than it is necessarily to be nice
right?
all the time. Honesty is always going to be the best policy in almost any given situation because your word, once you lose that, people, that's what leads people to question it. That's what leads people to go, are we sure it wasn't a cyber attack?
Right.
Maybe it was. Maybe you
So
are telling the truth,
let me
but
give
you've
you a great
lost
example.
credibility.
Let me give you a great example that happened to me personally last weekend.
Go ahead.
On a Facebook group last weekend, some guy came out and he said, I want you all to know that Andy O'Reilly is a fraud. He is not a journalist. He is not a media broadcaster. He is only concerned with protecting power, padding his wallet, and continuing his mission to crawl his way through everybody that's important in Muskegon and protect everybody. This came out in a Facebook group, one of the bigger ones in Muskegon. And I looked down at this post and I'm like, okay. I kind of remembered the name and I kind of remembered that I had had a problem with him in the past arguing
Do you
about
know
things.
him personally?
I do not.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to remember every detail about this stuff, and I thought I had blocked him. So what I did was I got a screenshot of what was said. Along with what was said, the people that got to the post before I did immediately started to tear this guy apart.
Mhm.
That's their opinion. They're welcome to give me credit or jump on his bandwagon. And I looked a little deeper into it, and I did remember that actually he popped up and said, "No, you didn't block me. I'm still here." Okay, well, what's the problem here, man?
Mhm.
Well, it turns out he's got a lot of problems right now.
Mhm.
Heavy,
Yeah.
huge emotional problems. And guess what? Saturday
Right.
night, I didn't have the capacity to sit and talk to him.
Mhm.
I did not have the energy or time or patience or anything. I said, look, just don't do this again, man, because it's not true. Sunday,
Yeah.
I got up and I spent about 90 minutes talking to the guy about what was going on in his life and everything like that. I ended up boiling it down to saying, look, how about next time, instead of just lashing out and trying to be, a pot stirrer, why don't you just reach out to me?
Yeah.
And if you need to get
That's the best
together,
way to do it.
let's talk and I can help you
Mhm.
through this. Now, anybody can say anything they want about me, which is fine,
Mhm.
right? But this is where we're getting into this idea of trusting people or throwing a pile of shit at them and seeing if it
Mhm.
sticks to ruin somebody unintentionally. Now, a corporate person might have to come out and say something that needs to be covered up. That can clearly be not trustworthy.
Yeah.
But
100.
if they
Well,
come out with
that's.
something that's rational and an easy explanation, and
Mhm.
everybody else has to now give them the side eye and wonder, oh, they're full of shit. Oh my god.
Well, who's that on though?
I
I don't put it on the people who like me are questioning it. I put it on once it goes back to the once you have a history, and that's
where
another.
in
I go back to Matt.
AT&T's
I go hang on.
history do you
I go back
see
to
any of this?
I I
In
go back to
AT&T's
Max
history,
on this. Well,
in
hang on.
AT&T's history, Have you ever seen an example of them lying about anything?
So I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not
but that instant
overly.
assumption jumped in there.
But here's why. Because what happens is you put the corporate blanket on it.
Yeah. Is that fair?
Once one corporation, no, it's not fair, but
Okay.
it's the reality. It's
It
just the
is.
reality. And again, I go back to Max. Max would be like there's a class where he got, you know, he believes he was unjustly put up into the front of the class on this little desk because he was talking to. I mean, because kid sometimes doesn't know when to shut his mouth, and that's partly my fault. So
Yeah, well,
um, who would have thought that? Anyway, I told him, you have a reputation. Even if in this instance you weren't the one doing it, you have built up a reputation based on past actions that are going to allow the teacher to assume it was you.
right.
So again, your reputation. That's why if you have a reputation for honesty, people are more willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. The corporate world in general, and AT&T, while you may be right, when have you heard this happening with AT&T? That may or may not be true. But in the corporate world, the huge monolith that is that in the United States, we don't trust corporations, nor should we. We should verify everything.
There you
And
go.
the same thing goes with public officials. Same thing goes with government entities. You 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 want to try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but if they have developed a pattern of lying, not just misinformation where you put out something that you don't know that may be false, you don't know, but when it's just kind of bold-faced lying to cover their own ass, and there's a lot of ass covering that's gone on in recent years, that's when you go, wait, I'm not buying your shit until
I get it.
you reestablish. It's on you to reestablish trust. It ain't on me. It's on you. So, and I'm a big forgiveness guy.
But
I'm very pro forgiveness.
the generalization of anything that's said, it needs, hey, we had a software glitch. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can live with that. Move on.
Yeah. That's what.
Easy.
That's what. Well, it's not easier said than done. Sometimes it's
I
like
get it.
forgiving. It's like forgiveness. It's easy. It's easy for me to forgive. It's not as easy for other people to do it because they're
I get
wired
it.
differently.
I get it.
That's just how it goes.
All right.
All right. Moving on. A 5,000-pound satellite plummeted to the Earth earlier this week. The European Space Agency satellite re-entered Earth's atmosphere over the Pacific between Alaska and Hawaii just after noon on Wednesday. The agency's Space Debris Office says there have been no reports of any damages. This happens, it's amazing. I've never heard like a satellite coming down and crushing anybody.
No.
Like in satellites fall to the earth all the time.
There
Shit
was
falls
that
out
show,
of the sky all the time.
Dead Like Me, where the toilet seat hit that kid and killed him.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you see that show? I love that show.
No, I did.
One of my favorite shows. It was just fantastic.
Of
Had
course.
Mandy Patinkin.
That should have been on that should have been on AFV. That would have won. Had it not been for the carnage and death, that would have probably won the
Well, they didn't
$500,000
really
prize.
show the toilet seat hitting the teenager to
They
kill her.
should have. Well, why not? That to me is hysterical.
No, that's not funny.
Is there a more hysterical way to die than a toilet seat killing somebody,
From
falling
the
out of
space
the
station?
sky
I know.
from a space? Yeah.
The
I
story
mean, I'm
was
not saying
actually,
it's not a tragic. Something can be simultaneously tragic and hysterical at the same time.
well, the story was actually about this young woman trying to live out her life as a soul collector. It's really great. And again, Mandy Patinkin. That's all it takes.
Oh, there you go. Hey, you had me at Mandy Patinkin.
Of course I did.
Finally, Dancing with the Local Stars goes down in Ski Town this weekend. The event takes place at the Van Dyke Mortgage Convention Center, 7 p.m. tonight, a matinee at 1 p.m. on Saturday, and the big show, 7 p.m. Some tickets still available for around $75. Proceeds go to food pantries feeding the hungry in Muskegon, Ottawa, and Oceana counties. I will be there tomorrow night. Really looking forward to this.
Wow,
Yes.
what a night it'll be. Just the fact that you're coming into town.
Yes.
Have you seen any of the episodes where Andy Griffith will get the band together and wait on the outskirts of town for your arrival?
I don't think I have.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to get our
Well,
pep band together here in Muskegon.
mhm,
We're going to be
that'd be
standing right
nice.
at that train bridge on the outside of town. And when you come
Okay.
blowing by in your Dodge Dart, we're going to be. Dun, dun,
I
dun,
know
dun,
first
dun, dun,
about
dun,
it.
dun, dun, dun,
Hey,
dun.
do you want to go meet up for lunch or something at Rackets? I don't know.
Well,
Uh,
Rackets isn't there anymore.
it's not there anymore. See,
No,
there are
no,
some. What are
that's
the
called Legends now.
Legends?
Um,
Okay, we go to
Way to
Legends.
sound hip.
I don't.
Um, Let me see. Meet up for lunch. Let me look at Saturday
Well,
tomorrow.
okay, yeah, all right. You don't have. Forget it.
No,
Forget it.
I'm
You're
thinking about it. What
busy. You got shit going on.
can I look
Okay,
at
I
my
don't care.
schedule? Can I look at my
No, you
schedule?
can't, because
All right.
I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna say, "I really don't have." I'm really. You're gonna be like Mark. You're gonna be like Damone in Fast Times. I'm really kind of busy, Rat. Okay, yeah, I understand.
All right. Well, here I'm looking at
I
tomorrow,
understand. Uh huh.
and you know what? I'm
Sport.
wide open.
Okay, so
Wide open. Not a thing to do.
how
Look at
about
that.
around?
Which means I've got a clear schedule. I've got nowhere to be, nothing to do. And you, what did you want to do? Lunch?
Meet up for lunch at Legends there in Muskegon. We'll bar food. I'll have maybe a little pre adult beverage before the event. Okay, okay.
Let me think.
This is
Um,
okay. You know what? Yeah, have your people call my people, and assuming I get people, and then there you
I'm
go.
thinking. Shh, 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 quiet. I'm
Sport.
thinking.
Okay, let
All
me
right.
get into sports, and
Here's
then
what we're gonna do.
okay.
Meet you. Pay for your food and beverages.
I didn't say yet we can go Dutch. This isn't a date.
No, I know how this works.
No, it doesn't. Okay, if you offer to pay, I'm not gonna. I won't even reach for my wallet.
Will you
But
shut up
I
a minute? I'm
will
trying to
go
think.
halfsies.
All right, meet you, pay for lunch, watch you bask in the glory of being Muskegon. Are you staying in town tomorrow night?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I'm not saying where.
where the
They're
hell
only
else are you going to
really and
stay?
realistically
Stupid.
two
Seriously.
possibilities. What?
Where else are you going to stay?
There are two. No, there are multiple possibilities downtown.
You're staying at the
I'm
Delta.
staying at.
Everybody knows that.
I'm actually not.
Oh, so you're staying across the street. Okay, fun. Let's see. Lunch, free booze for Dave. Me not wearing underwear all day tomorrow and not leaving the
Okay.
house.
Yeah. All right. Fine. You don't want to have to shop. Fine. You can stay home. You know what? I'll send you selfies all night of me having fun.
Okay,
And
do
you,
that. It'll be just like I'm
okay,
there.
fine. Okay, fine.
I love that.
Fine.
I
Sports.
That's the best idea in the history of great ideas.
I think it's probably better because we get enough of each other during the week.
Right.
Sports, Northwestern beats Michigan. Michigan shorthanded. They suck anyway. It's 76-72. Pacers beat down the Pistons in NBA hoops, 129-116. That's sports.
Here comes a $1,200 loss in Jeopardy from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
You
I
got
got
this
it
one?
yesterday.
You came close. You came
I
close.
got it yesterday.
No, you didn't. You said bridge, and
Yeah.
it was nose.
Oh, I meant the one before.
Yeah. All right. It is the main trunk of a series of vessels which convey oxygenated blood to the tissues of the body.
Say that again.
I can't, Dave. This is Jeopardy.
Yeah,
We
you
don't
can.
repeat
It was
questions.
you kind of went fast, and I know it's Grey's Anatomy. I got trunk. I heard trunk, but try again.
Walking you through life is difficult. You know that? Hey, Andy, how about some free booze and liquor? I'll be in
I
town.
didn't say. I didn't
Hey, Andy,
say
how about a
you had
repeat?
to pay.
Hey, Andy. It's the
I just
main
wanted
trunk
some-
of
I
a
wanted
series
some
of vessels
fellowship.
which convey the oxygenated blood to the tissues of the body.
Trunk. The word trunk is throwing me.
A lot of things throw you. It's difficult to be so beautiful and stupid. I get it. Wouldn't you like to be ugly and deep like me?
I prefer man pretty to beautiful.
No, it's okay.
It just feels a little more masculine.
Of course.
Why are my shoulders uneven? Shoulders look uneven.
Okay,
You're
so
just leaning
that's a
weird.
non-answer.
That's a non-answer. I don't know what the hell it is.
Your aorta.
I was gonna say aorta. Shit.
No, you weren't.
I swear to God, as God is my witness, Lord, you know that's what I was thinking. And I'm like, it's not aorta. That's too. I blew it.
All right. Well,
I knew it was the aorta. I didn't know, but I didn't know that I knew that it was the aorta.
When we have the
Unbelievable.
Muskegon band waiting for you at the train trestle there, what do you drive again?
It's the formerly mobile, well, it is still mobile, 2012 Dodge Avenger Studios.
And what
Back
color is
when
it?
it's blue.
Okay, cops, be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, geez, see, why you gotta be a jerk?
I'm not.
I'm not gonna do any of this and do this.
If you have to drive
It's no
across the
way.
street to the hotel, you're gonna have to do that.
I'm gonna have to. I'll walk. It's only 30.
What
It's
if you get hit
32
by a
degrees.
car?
It's balmy.
Okay.
I
Well,
can't buy anything.
things to think
Look
about.
both ways. Head
All
on
right.
a swivel.
We'll see you back here Monday.
See ya.
Happy Friday, Muskegon. Colder temperatures will move into the area through Saturday, so let's take a look at your forecast brought to you by Trinity Health. Like I said, we'll turn briefly colder into Saturday with highs in the 30s instead of the 40s and 50s and 60s like we have been seeing recently. And we will warm up though next week. Like I said, that brief cool down will be very short lived. We'll be in the 40s again by Sunday, with rain and storms possibly by following Tuesday. So for your Friday, expect temperatures to mostly be in the mid to maybe upper 30s. So cooler today than it has been recently, and temperatures will be falling throughout the afternoon hours instead of warming up. So for your Friday, expect a high around 37 degrees. We'll have mostly cloudy skies to contend with as well. Overnight will start to clear out, actually become mostly clear and very cold with temperatures in the mid-teens. But like I said, that cold will be short-lived. We'll be at 30 on Saturday and in the mid-40s already on Sunday. Will likely be well into the 50s by Tuesday, especially, with also some rain showers and even thunderstorms Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. We'll have some rounds of rain throughout the day on Wednesday, and then colder air will briefly move back into the region Wednesday night into Thursday, which will change any of the rain showers to snow showers. But as of now, accumulations look to be on the lower side. And that's your Friday and weekend forecast brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon channel. And I'm Cole Woods Weather, and have a great day today.